Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new episode of Living in Denver. Going to be taking you behind the curtain today and doing an in-depth map video, sharing with you my top 3 Denver neighborhoods for 2026. I'm really excited to share this one with you guys, so stay tuned. All right, so as I said, today's going to be a little different. Going to be going in depth on a full map tour on my computer. You're going to be joining me as I go through just some different Google Maps, as well as sharing some really helpful resources if you're considering different neighborhoods in and around Denver. But before we get started, if you guys haven't met me yet, my name is Adam Lang, licensed realtor here in Denver, Colorado. Just really quick, all that info down below as you watch this video and hopefully many more to come. Any questions at all, feel free to reach out. But with that, let's go ahead and get started. Again, about 3 Denver neighborhoods that I think you may or may not already know about, but I'm going to be showing you from a different lens, getting on the computer and going in depth on the map tour. So this is a type of video that I've done a few in the past, and people really have a lot of just positive feedback about how helpful it is to see it from a local's perspective as we go through these different areas together. So starting right off with the first of the 3 neighborhoods, it's actually going to be where I grew up, and that's Wheat Ridge, and that's just to the west side of Denver. So now I'm going to take you over to the Google Maps and show you a little bit more specifically about Wheat Ridge. All right, so as you guys can see here, looking at a Google map from a 30,000 foot view, if you look just at the overall area of Denver, what you're going to see is obviously there's quite a few different suburbs, but a lot of the most popular areas tend to actually be not as well known on the western side of town. So Wheat Ridge, Lakewood, to the northwest, Arvada, some of these areas, despite being in a fantastic location in my opinion, typically aren't quite as popular as some of the more well-known areas like, for example, Littleton or Aurora, or even up north in areas like Thornton and Northglenn. So with Wheat Ridge as the first of these 3 neighborhoods that I really want to dig into on this Google Maps view, first off, why I love it so much is because you're on the western side of town and you're a little bit closer to the ski hills. So if you are somebody that likes to get up and get to the mountains as often as you can, when you're on the western side of town in places like Wheat Ridge, you are a little bit closer, and that really does tend to add up after a while as far as convenience. So instead of, for example, on an afternoon after work, if you wanted to get up for a quick hike at the end of the day, instead of needing to, maybe leave an extra hour ahead of time just to get to the mountains from Wheat Ridge, you can access certain areas within as quickly as even 15, 20 minutes. So I really think Wheat Ridge is a great location if you are somebody that likes to get out and explore a little bit after work or on the weekends. So looking at it here, though, on the map, if we're going to zoom in a little bit more, you're going to see that Wheat Ridge is right here on the left-hand side of downtown Denver. Zooming in a little bit more, you can see that downtown Denver, Union Station. So Wheat Ridge is just due west of there. And the way that I like to describe Wheat Ridge as far as its just kind of its boundaries is you have to the east of Wheat Ridge, you have this road right here, which is Highway 95, also known as Sheridan. If I zoom in really close, you guys can see it a little bit better, Sheridan. And backing up a little bit here, that's on the far eastern side of Wheat Ridge. On the western side, you really can go out as far as I-70, which is our westbound, east and westbound, but when you're taking it west, going up to the mountains, it's a very popular road to use. So that really could be considered the far west side boundary, but more to be really specific, it's going to actually be a little bit closer to the Kipling and Youngfield streets. So this right here would be Kipling, and then you can't quite see it, but right here would be Youngfield. As far as north and south, you've got I-70 again as kind of that northern boundary. And then down to the south, you can also use what I like to use as Colfax, which you can see right down here as number 40 here, Highway 40. So that's just kind of the overall kind of boundaries of Wheat Ridge. But now to dig into it a little bit more specifically, some of the things that I love so much about Wheat Ridge is, first off, some of the parks. So we've got Crown Hill, which is an awesome park. In fact, it's right across the street from Wheat Ridge High School. So you can see Wheat Ridge High School right here. Literally right across the street is this Crown Hill Park. It's a little over 2 miles, I believe, for the round trip. If you want to do the full circle, A lot of kids you'll see in the afternoons in the fall practicing for cross country, and also just a lot of people that enjoy bird watching and just getting some exercise. I also want to share with you guys in this video a couple of my favorite little unique spots in each of these 3 neighborhoods. So for Wheat Ridge, one of these is going to be an area that's called Gold's Grocery. It was an old grocery store back in the day, and it's right here off of 32nd, off of 26th, and right next to Paramount Park. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit more, and you can see right here, I'm going to switch over to the Google Maps view. And now you can see right here, oops, I'm a little bit too far. So this right now, it's actually showing this from a while back before they did some of these upgrades. So now right here on the right-hand side of this is an Illegal Pete's. And Illegal Pete's is awesome because they have this massive outdoor patio that got extended onto the right-hand side of here. It's got great views of Crown Hill Park, which is right across the street here. If I'll just go over here to the other side, now you can see this is the beginning of Crown Hill Park. And over here is the main parking lot for it. And it's just awesome. It's one of my favorite parks in Wheat Ridge. Not a ton of people, so it's really, really cool. Also, you're right next to just some of the other, in my opinion, best parts of Wheat Ridge. And one of those is going to be my gym that I go to every morning, which is known as Armbrust Pro Gym. And I'm going to show you guys that too, just because I have a lot of people that reach out asking me for good recommendations for fitness centers, rec centers, all that good stuff. So if you notice here, this is Kipling right here. I'm going to go ahead and get out of there. So Kipling is the western side of Crown Hill. Again, Wheat Ridge High School is right here. And if you just go a little bit down Kipling Street, you're going to get past 38th Avenue. And then a little bit past that, you'll see Armbrust Pro Gym. And Armbrust is awesome. It actually has some of the top bodybuilders in the entire world that call this their home gym. In fact, we had the Mr. Olympia a few weeks back, which is like the Super Bowl of bodybuilding. And 3 out of the 18 athletes that were competing in the top level, 3 of them have considered Armbrust as their home gym. 2 of them were actually still training out of Armbrust almost on a daily basis. So just really cool to have such a high level of just skill and passion behind this type of environment. So that's what you guys always want, obviously, when you're working out, right? So I'll just show you a little bit another perspective of this part of Wheat Ridge by going into the on the ground mode here. So here we are on Kipling. Armbrust Pro Gym is right here. It's really, really big. It goes all the way around to the back of the building. But the reason I also wanted to show you guys Armbrust Pro Gym and just this part of Wheat Ridge is because this actually backs up to what we call the Green Belt. And the Green Belt is just this awesome park that goes quite a ways along the Clear Creek Trail. And Clear Creek is a pretty small little creek that goes kind of in and out of some of the different neighborhoods in Denver. But what I love about it is an awesome place to just get a little bit away from the hustle bustle. You're not going to see nearly as many people in this part of the Wheat Ridge area. It's a great place to just get exercise. When I was in high school and even back in middle school and elementary school, we'd do field trips down here. And this is just right next to Armbrust. So right here, you can actually see Clear Creek. And it's just a great spot to get some exercise, ride your bike, take your dog for a walk, all that good stuff. And just on the other side of this is actually also our middle school. So the middle school, Everett Middle School, is just down the street from the Armbrust Pro Gym, as well as the Wheat Ridge High School down here. And on the other side is the Wheat Ridge Rec Center. So massive rec center, really, really nice. And then right across from that is going to be Everett Middle School, which is down here. This is where I actually went. So Everett Middle School is right here. So now we're going to just zoom back out to the main view here. And I just want to show you guys one more thing about Wheat Ridge before we move on to the next neighborhood, and that is going to be the Lutheran Hospital. So one thing that's really exciting right now in Wheat Ridge is Lutheran Hospital, because for the entire time that I grew up as a kid, Lutheran Hospital was located just off of 38th Avenue. And if we just scoots over here, I'll show you guys. Zoom in a little bit. So right here's 38th Avenue, and there we go. Sheridan, right here. There are we here. Oh, I went a little bit too far. There we go. it's not showing up anymore. That's why I was having a hard time. So right here is where the old Lutheran hospital was. You can still see this North Lutheran Parkway. And I'll just zoom in on it again from a map view to the street level view so you could see what's kind of going on here. So this is the old Lutheran hospital, which is completely getting redeveloped right now. In fact, it just got passed a few months ago, back in May of this year, 2025. So going into next year, 2026, we're going to be seeing a lot of new stuff happening here. And this is the area that is being redeveloped. So as you can see, this is going to be a massive new development. They did get approval for up to 70 feet tall for buildings. So typically you'll see residential real estate at about 35 foot as far as the max height. They call it FAR. I think it's the maximum height that's typically allowed in a residential area. But since this is zoned previously as a commercial area, they actually have approval to go up to 70 feet, which will be, a couple story tall mixed use development where you might find some apartments on the upper levels and then some businesses on the street ground level. So just really excited to see what all happens here. And just as a little bit of an example too of just how much Wheat Ridge is improving right now, just to the east of Lutheran is another area which is called just really the Wadsworth Shopping Center. So again, 38th Avenue, right here at the corner of Wadsworth and 38th. We got a lot going on here. So as you can see, this is just the intersection I'm talking about, but they've just over the last 10 years or so been really improving this. This was really bad construction for a long time because they actually widened the roads. And now you have all of this great mixed use as well as just really good commercial, a lot of good restaurants, kind of more that fast casual. There's even some new indoor pickleball courts down here. There's just a lot of stuff. This Lucky's Market, unfortunately, did not survive, and this is what now is the pickleball. So a lot of really just fun stuff going on in Wheat Ridge, and that's why I wanted to include it as one of the 3 neighborhoods today to share with you. Okay, so now I'm going to go back over to this next area that I think is also just as exciting because it's also really close to Wheat Ridge. And this is going to be an area called Tennyson, and it's in the Berkeley neighborhood. So we're going to zoom back out so we can show you guys where exactly the second neighborhood is, which is Berkeley. And Berkeley and the Tennyson kind of go hand in hand as far as names. Tennyson is actually the street in the Berkeley neighborhood where all of the stuff that's happening, really the most popular part of Berkeley is on Tennyson Street. So I'm going to zoom out so I can show you guys exactly where this second neighborhood is. And what I love about it is just slightly north of Wheat Ridge and very, very close to downtown Denver and all of that urban excitement that exists when you're so close to downtown Denver. So I'm going to back out just a little bit more so you can just see. Right now, we have downtown Denver over here. Union Station is, where all of the Amtraks leave from to go up to Glenwood Springs, as well as even further out west, all the way to California. If you guys aren't familiar with what Union Station looks like, I'll just shoot you guys a quick little street view so you can see. There's also just a lot of other things going on down here with like theater and just a lot of different fine dining and restaurants. This is actually where the light rail picks you up if you're wanting to use public transportation. So just overall, a lot of stuff in downtown Denver, and you're very close to this when you live in Tennyson. So this is the downtown area that I'm talking about that's only about a 5 to 7 minute drive from Tennyson Street. So here's downtown Denver. Over here, we're going to go slightly to the west, and you're going to find Berkeley. So when you're looking at Berkeley, you're going to see that there's one street specifically known as Tennyson Street, and it's right here. And I'm just going to have us go on a street level view down here on this end, and then I'm just going to kind of take us up through it. So 44th is kind of the far northern end of Berkeley. There's actually a nice park here that has a ton of tennis courts. It's a really nice park. And if I just go, let's see here, it's going to be going up this way. So it's kind of the bottom of Tennyson. I say bottom, even though it's actually to the north. We're going to be kind of going up Tennyson here. So as you can see, there's a lot of this mixed use. Keep going up though, and you're going to find a lot of great, just different sorts of shopping and just restaurants, all that good stuff. There's also just a lot of locally owned and operated businesses, which is pretty rare to find a street that has so much of this. Just little shops, lots of kind of like single businesses that have their own little like bungalows that are converted into businesses and storefronts. So here's, for example, like a Medi Spa. You can see there's been a ton of construction going on down here, which is mostly finished, which is good news, but just a lot to do. And this goes on and on. There's a lot of blocks. There's also another great park here known as Cesar Chavez Park, and it just keeps going. And I want to show you one last thing before we move on. So if you go to Tennyson Street and you go all the way up to the very, very top, which would be 32nd Street, right here, you can see there's a natural glaciers at the top. And when we get all the way up here to the 38th Avenue, I said 32nd, I meant to say 38th. Right across the street here is actually where Elitch Gardens used to exist. And Elitch Gardens was our theme park back in the day before Six Flags bought it and relocated it. And this is just another spot that I have so much fond memories of as a kid growing up, because there was this amazing amusement park here for the longest time. If you want to ever just kind of check out what the old what the old Elitch Gardens looks like, just to kind of give you guys a couple quick pictures. Elitch Gardens, it had a massive botanical gardens. That's why it's called Gardens. But it was, the place to be. It had so much fun stuff, lots of great memories over the years going here. So that's just an example again of Elitch Gardens. And I know this is a little bit earlier in the video that I was sharing with you guys about Armbrust Pro Gym, but here's just a quick video just to show you really how cool and awesome this gym is. Okay, so back to the video though here on the map. That's where this Tennyson Street is. That is super, super cool. I also, though, love because in the Berkeley neighborhood, you have two very large parks that really aren't used that much, especially this Rocky Mountain Lake Park, which is a little bit lesser known. They do both have I-70, which is a busy road, obviously. It's an interstate that borders it, but there is enough of a noise block just with how the road is located in comparison to the park, where I really still think it's a very peaceful setting. So I'll take you guys over here to Berkeley Park really quick just to show you how pretty this area is. Let's go ahead and zoom in right here. So as you can see here, just really pretty park, nice views to the west looking out at the Rocky Mountains, and just not a ton of people that use it. So great park to check out if you're not that familiar with the Berkeley neighborhood. Definitely check out not only Tennyson Street, but also definitely check out this park, which I think is one of the best on the Wheat Ridge Berkeley neighborhoods. So that's my second neighborhood. I know I'm going fast here, but I want to give you guys as much value as I can. So now let's just jump right into the third and final neighborhood today. And this third one is going to be Sloan Lake. So Sloan Lake is going to be just a slightly bit to the south of the Berkeley-Tennyson neighborhood. So all three of these neighborhoods today are all going to be a little bit to the west of downtown Denver in the areas that I personally think are the best areas to live. It's why I've continued to live on this side of town my entire life. So looking here from a little bit further out view again, you've got downtown Denver, you've got, the Coors Field, you've got the Broncos Stadium, specifically the Broncos Stadium. I want to show you that and have that be the main kind of bullet point that I'm going to share with you guys today about Sloan Lake. So you can see Sloan Lake is right here. Right across the street is Elitch Gardens, which is the new location which they built out about 20 years ago. And what I love, though, about Sloan Lake is it's easy access to the Broncos Stadium. So the Broncos Stadium is just right here off of Federal Boulevard, right across the street, basically, from Sloan Lake. And you even also have Meow Wolf, which is another really fun place to check out if you haven't been yet. I'll put a couple little clips of videos of the Meow Wolf area above, but it's basically this very unique, very artsy, but kind of out of this world type experience. So definitely check out Meow Wolf if you guys haven't seen that yet. But back to Sloan Lake. The reason Sloan Lake is my top 3 right now is because it continues to see incredible appreciation when it comes to real estate values, but also if you are somebody that maybe is still wanting to be a little bit in more of an urban environment where you're closer to where all the action is, Wheat Ridge is a little bit further removed, and the Tennyson area is great and definitely another spot that a lot of people choose instead of Sloan Lake. But if the Tennyson area just also isn't quite matching what you're looking for, I think that Sloan Lake might be exactly what you might need. And that's because of its great location, even closer to downtown Denver, but also has an amazing park, one of my absolute favorites, which is Sloan Lake Park. So as you can see, Sloan Lake is pretty massive. It's a little bit over 2.2 miles to go completely around the lake. When I lived over here, I went around the lake almost on a daily basis with my dog, Charlie. And I lived in a really fun little neighborhood that I want to share with you that is kind of this hidden gem that not that many people know about. Sloan Lake and the surrounding areas like Highlands are always kind of going to be a little bit more expensive than other parts of Denver, but also this blend of old bungalow-style homes that were built way back 100 years ago in some cases, and either that style of home or these newer redevelopments where it was a bungalow home, it got scraped, and now there might be a single family, more of a new style of home that's more contemporary and modern. Or actually what's more common is they're actually now going to be duplexes, so two homes, kind of like a town home is a better way to describe it to you, which will be on that lot, that existing lot that used to have the old bungalow house. Just to kind of show you a little bit of an example, though, first of the area that I lived, it was called East Bay. And basically, it was right here off of 20th Avenue. And right here, we're going to zoom in so I can show you guys this. So this is the East Bay neighborhood, and I loved East Bay. I lived here for about 4 years, and in fact, this is actually my house right here, the second one in. And what I loved about East Bay is it was this newer home. It's built about 25 years ago at this point, but it's still a lot newer than what a lot of the homes surrounding here are, which were those bungalows from 100 plus years ago. If I just go down one block and I start going down some of these other streets near East Bay, you'll see what I'm talking about. So much older homes, lots of very mature trees, which I loved. The roads were also fairly wide, but you're gonna have a lot of these older style homes. But with East Bay, we were right close to all of this, but in a newer development. Also, lots of parks when you're in this East Bay and Sloan Lake area. This was one of my favorites. But just to show you how close in proximity you are to downtown Denver, I'm literally going to take you only about 2 blocks going here to the east towards downtown Denver. Here's 1 block, and then that's the first block. And now we're going to go down 1 more. Here's that second block. So I guess it's actually 3 to Federal. And what you're going to see here now, here's kind of the back of Federal here. Right across the street from Federal Boulevard is the Broncos Stadium. So literally just about 3 blocks and you're over here at the Broncos Stadium. So awesome location when it comes to just going to the Broncos games, being very close to all the other great stuff going on, like that Meow Wolf, a lot of really nice parks, a lot of trails. In fact, if you guys are really into biking, the Platte River Park is located right here, and you can take the Platte River for miles and miles. In fact, you could take it continuously from here all the way to Cherry Creek Reservoir, which is a significant distance. And let me just show you that really quick on the map. So here's the Broncos Stadium here. Sloan Lake is right here. So just again, give you this perspective of how close Sloan Lake is to the Broncos Stadium. And spoiler alert, we actually have a new location for the Broncos Stadium. It's going to be hopefully completed in 2030, in about 5 years. But don't worry, it's not going to be that far away. In fact, it's going to be in Barnum West, which is just right down over here. So where is it here? Yeah, it's going to be right. Where are we here? Very close. So it's going to be right in this area here. So very, very close. But back to what I wanted to show you guys, which was just this location, how amazing it is when you're living in the Sloan Lake area and you're so close to all this stuff. What I love is how you can literally get onto Highway 6, which is this road here, also known as 287, and how easy it is to get just really to wherever you're trying to go. And this is just a spot that I think is one of the most convenient locations in all of Denver when it comes to not only if you work in downtown Denver still, or you just want to be close to all the action, you also can so easily get on a highway and head out west to the mountains and save so much time in comparison to maybe living somewhere much further away, like southeast areas, like for example Aurora down here. So overall, lots to think about, but I think all 3 of these are great areas to consider. Hope you guys got some value out of this. I know I went really fast today, but I just wanted to kind of pack in as much as I could in a quick 20-25 minute video on Google Maps. If this was helpful to you and you want me to maybe go a little bit more in depth on some other Denver neighborhoods, feel free to reach out. I'd love to share with you not only my personal favorites, but also we could even hop on a 30-minute free real estate strategy session. We'll join a call kind of like we're doing right now, and I'll just walk you through one-on-one and share some of my favorite areas and maybe talking a little bit more to you about what you want in that perfect neighborhood and help you find it. There's so many options here in Denver, Colorado, and I know there's got to be at least a couple that fit what you're looking for. So with all that being said, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I can't wait to share a brand new episode with you next week on Living in Denver. I'll see you then. Bye.